It's time for the Tech Mobility Show with Ken Chester. Ken is a veteran journalist who doesn't always color between the lines. So, here he is, the host with the electrified personality, Ken Chester.
Real facts, real opinions, real talk. Welcome to the Tech Mobility Show, your program for news, information, and perspective at the intersection of mobility and technology. I'm Ken Chester. We have a full docket ready to go. So let's get started. On the docket, a review of the Jeep Gladiator pickup truck, extreme heat in your body, and how AI can impact the future of agriculture. To add your voice to the conversation, be it to ask a question, share an opinion, or even suggest a topic for future discussion, call or text the Tech Mobility Hotline. That number, 872-222-9793, or you can email the show directly, talk@techmobility.show, and that is talk@techmobility.show. As always, be sure to check us out on social media or wherever you enjoy podcasts. From the Tech Mobility News Desk, tell me right now, what does the Ford Motor Company, Amazon, and VW have in common? All of them have invested millions, if not billions of dollars in Rivian Automotive. What do they know that the rest of the industry doesn't know? Volkswagen is the latest company to announce that they will invest $1 billion in Rivian initially, and another $4 billion by 2026 under a deal designed to help Volkswagen accelerate rollout of software-defined vehicles. They did not go to Tesla. They did not go to a host of other EV companies in the space. They didn't go to Lucid. They went to Rivian. What do you think that's why? Why do you think they did that? Well, let's talk about Rivian for a minute. Regular listeners in this space know that we have followed a number of EV companies. Some are surviving, some have gone belly up like Fisker and Faraday Future, and others just refuse to die. In the case of Rivian, Rivian's primary lifeline was the initial investments from Ford and Amazon. And Amazon didn't just invest $1 billion. Amazon placed an order for 100,000 EV delivery vans built by Rivian. If you understand the auto industry, and let me start with something. Being able to build at scale allows you to spread your fixed overhead over a variety of vehicles, and the more you build, the lower the cost of your fixed overhead because you can spread it over more vehicles, which makes you more competitive. It also allows you certain operational advantages in getting your factory up to speed, getting things perfected, working kinks out with your suppliers. It is a win-win-win all the way around. Rivian's been successful at snagging these contracts. If you recall, we reported here a while back a contract with AT&T for certain connected services for their vehicles. Volkswagen Group and Rivian are forming a joint venture to create what the companies are calling next-generation electrical architectures and software technology. My only complaint is actually with Ford. Ford had the chance to use Rivian as breakout technology for Lincoln, and I really wish they had done that. There was a Rivian-sourced Lincoln on the books at one time that Ford scrubbed. I wish they hadn't done that. I would have liked to have seen them break that out, even though it would be different from what Ford is currently developing elsewhere in their portfolio, as a way of differentiating Lincoln from the field with the best and brightest thought and technology that could be offered, and have Lincoln be established as a luxury technology leader in the space for high-tech, high-luxury motor vehicles. Lincoln has always been an afterthought at the Ford Motor Company. Even though now they pretty much build SUVs, most people know what the Navigator is. Less people know the Nautilus, the Corsair, and the Aviator, which are also Lincoln vehicles currently built. Through our cooperation, we will bring best solutions to our vehicles faster and at lower cost. This is from Volkswagen. We're strengthening our technology profile and our competitiveness. That says something about not just Rivian's manufacturing chops, but Rivian's engineering chops. It means that their engineering, which is usually a challenge for most EV startups, think Fisker, is well-formed and has depth to it. For a major company like that, or major companies to reach out and said, yeah, we're in, we want to do this. The new joint venture is a complementary part of the Volkswagen Group's overarching software strategy. They will also, and this is a thing because, as I've said, and you should know by now, I will be the first to tell you that automotive manufacturing is capital intensive with a capital C. It takes a lot of money to build vehicles anywhere on the planet. If you ain't dealing in tens of billions of dollars, you are not going to be competitive. This is not a $1 or $2 billion thing. If you're in it for 15, 20 years, and you will be spending tens of billions of dollars to build your vehicles, bring them to market, support them, all of that. That's what it takes. Now, the company CEO, that's Rivian CEO, RJ Caringe, said during the conference call that partnership will provide a roadmap to secure and support funds to help launch the two-row R2 crossover at the automaker's plant in Normal, Illinois, but also the launch of additional vehicles. So this is a win-win. The R3 and R3X at a Georgia plant. It will also help Rivian generate positive free cash flow down the road. The partnership will be used to develop vehicles at both companies. VW Group said all of its brands, including Scout, will benefit from the deal. And if you don't recognize the name, Scout was an SUV originally built by International Harvester. Volkswagen got the name when their heavy truck division bought Navistar. And now they're looking to resuscitate it as an EV SUV brand. And the fact that Scout will benefit from Rivian's knowledge and technology is a masterstroke, because you're not reinventing the wheel, and you're coming up with something that's already on the roads, already proven, already out there. So everything that Rivian knows and is learning day by day, Volkswagen will get and Scout will get, which means Scout's battery management systems, their EV battery systems, and their electric motors will hit the ground running, proven, with thousands, if not millions of miles already on the clock in terms of development and what they've learned. They don't have to build these from scratch. They don't have to play with new suppliers from scratch. And what Rivian's learned lately is originally they were sourcing motors from Bosch, but due to the pandemic, which actually did Rivian a big favor, they repurposed the engines, the EV motors they were building for the Amazon delivery trucks, which allowed them to lower the cost, build them quicker, and increase their throughput. So it was a win-win. Also, the original Rivian vehicles had 4 motors. Rivian figured out that by offering those in both 2, 3, and 4 motor configurations, that there's some marketplace for each of them, and it allows them to be competitive, i.e. more profitable, and to build more. So they're learning all this stuff in real time. None of this could have been possible, though, unless they had the 100,000 unit contract with Amazon. That is what differentiates Rivian from everybody else save Tesla. Because they had volume in hand and they had money in hand and they got a plant that they bought, which was originally a Mitsubishi plant built by Mitsubishi and Chrysler back in the late 80s in Normal, Illinois, they didn't have to reinvent the wheel. They had a plant that they could start with a clean slate, but already had the real estate, already had the blueprint, already had the floor space. So it was a matter of expanding the plant and molding it in their image. Rivian's got a lot going on, a win-win. Rivian will be, much like Lucid, which has Saudi Arabia money backing it, these will be the winners in this space. They'll still be around in 10 years. The question is, what is this fair to other companies that don't have this, that have not been able to attract the capital? It says something for the technology and the wherewithal of Rivian to be able to attract, retain, and continue to raise this kind of capital from major companies that don't like risk. Automakers do not like risk. So for them to come to Rivian says it's not risky. I still wish Ford had built that Lincoln. The name may be old, but the capabilities are real. My review of the Jeep Gladiator pickup truck is next. You are listening to the Tech Mobility Show.
Are you tired of juggling multiple apps and platforms for meetings, webinars, and staying connected? Look no further than AONmeetings.com, the all-in-one browser-based platform that does it all. With AON Meetings, you can effortlessly communicate with clients, host virtual meetings and webinars, and stay in touch with family and friends, all in one place and for one price. Here's the best part. You can enjoy a 30-day free trial. It's time to simplify your life and boost your productivity. AONmeetings.com, where innovation meets connection. Get started today and revolutionize the way you communicate.
Social media is the main place to be these days, and we are no exception. I'm Ken Chester, the Tech Mobility Show. If you enjoy my program, then you will also enjoy my weekly Facebook videos. From my latest vehicle reviews to timely commentary of a variety of mobility and technology-related topics, these short features are designed to inform and delight you. Be sure to watch, like, and follow us on Facebook. You can find us by typing the Tech Mobility Show in the search bar. Be sure to subscribe to our Facebook page. Social media is the place to be these days, and we're no exception. I'm Ken Chester of the Tech Mobility Show. If you enjoy my program, then you will also enjoy my weekly Instagram videos. From the latest vehicle reviews to timely commentary on a variety of mobility and technology-related topics, these short features are designed to inform and delight you. Be sure to watch, like, and follow us on Instagram. You can find us by typing the Tech Mobility Show in the search bar. For those of you that listen to podcasts, we have just the one for you. Hi, I'm Ken Chester. Tech Mobility Topics is a podcast where I upload topic-specific videos each week. Shorter than the full show, these bite-sized programs are just the thing, particularly if you're interested in a particular topic covered on the weekly radio show. From Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and many podcast platforms in between, we got you covered. Just enter Tech Mobility Topics in the search bar wherever you listen to podcasts.
And now, Freddie the Clown in How to Build a Truck. Part 1. Here's how some people build a pickup truck. They start with a two-wheel drive chassis. Then they clamp on the body. Not bad, but now they change their minds. Decide to make it four-wheel drive. They jack it up to admit the front-end powertrain. Wow, too high here. Too high here. Too high here. Now look how the new Jeep Gladiator is built. Start with a four-wheel drive chassis. Put on the body and there you are. Designed and built for four-wheel drive all the way, with plenty of ground clearance too. The bed's low for easy loading. The hood's low, easy servicing. The cab's low, easy entry. Compare for yourself and you'll choose the one built from the ground up for four-wheel drive. The new Jeep Gladiator.
That was 1964. So basically 60 years ago. So you might understand, and I wanted to explain it to you, that the name Gladiator, while it may be new to you, is not new to Jeep. Having said that, if you've been listening to me for any length of time, particularly lately, you've heard my lament about the Jeep brand, how many of their offerings fall short of the underlying promise of go anywhere, ready for anything nature that have defined Jeeps for over 70 years. Having said that, I do have to readily admit that all Jeeps fall short. And the Jeep Gladiator pickup truck is one such model. But to talk about the current, we must take a trip first to the past. The year was 1962. The original Jeep Gladiator pickup truck was introduced as a full-size pickup truck for the 1963 model year. The large Jeep pickup was on a conventional body-on-frame design, which shared its basic frame architecture and front end with the Wagoneer four-wheel drive station wagon. Sold under various names until 1988, the first-generation Gladiator design was noteworthy for remaining in production for more than 26 years on a single automotive platform generation. And I say, hey, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. The original Gladiators were available both in rear-wheel and four-wheel drive configurations with optional dual rear wheels for added weight hauling capacity. Those Gladiators were versatile, too, being available as a cabin chassis, wrecker, stake bed, and with chassis-mounted campers with an extended wheelbase. The first Gladiators had a payload capacity of almost 2 tons. And on top of all of this, the Gladiator boasted a power takeoff to run the numerous accessories that included snowplows and push plates. With the purchase of American Motors Corporation in 1987 by Chrysler, Jeeps had been under 2 different owners up to this time, Kaiser Jeep and AMC. Chrysler discontinued the full-size Jeep pickup in 1988. But that didn't mean the pickup trucks would be completely ignored or forgotten. Over the last 20 years, Jeep has shown several concept pickup trucks, with company officials expressing interest in putting such a vehicle into production. Finally, the current Jeep Gladiator pickup was introduced to the American motoring public at the 2018 Los Angeles Auto Show, going on sale in spring 2019 as a 2020 model. Now offered as a mid-size pickup truck, the all-new Gladiator is based on a 4th-generation Wrangler JL. The new Gladiator is Jeep's first new pickup truck in almost 30 years. Built exclusively at the Automaker Supplier Park Complex in Toledo, Ohio, the 2024 Jeep Gladiator is offered in 4 trim levels, with a variety of axle, differential, suspension, and transfer case combinations available depending on trim level. Power is generated by a tried-and-true 3.6 Pentastar V6 gasoline prime mover that produces 285 horsepower and 260 foot-pounds of torque. Energy is delivered to all 4 wheels via a D478 6-speed manual gearbox. An 850RE 8-speed automatic transmission is optional. EPA fuel economy is 16 city, 23 highway for the manual, 17 city, 22 highway for the automatic. Payload capacity is 1,200 pounds. Towing capacity is 4,000 pounds. Standard ground clearance ranges from 10 to 11.6 inches depending on trim level. Here's what I loved about the vehicle. The Jeep Gladiator is based on the descendant of the original can-do Jeeps, ones that actually started the sport utility segment. From its mechanical, as opposed to electrical, 4-wheel drive engagement lever to its rugged construction, this pickup truck is the modern rendition of the old favorite. The driver enjoys a good outward view of the road. The tried-and-true V6 made it to the 8-speed automatic, delivering performance that was both smooth and responsive, with different gearing choices that gave the driver the ultimate in control when underway, no matter where. Off-road, the Gladiator was capable, sure, and dependable, inspiring driver confidence. Inside the cabin, displays, controls, and switchgear were straightforward and easy to use. Hand grips at all 4 doors facilitates entry and exit. 4 programmable auxiliary switches are available for whatever the driver needs or wants to add in the way of electronics. There's no shortage of USB ports in the passenger cabin either. Heated front seats, coupled with a heated steering wheel, round out creature comforts. Here's what I didn't like about the vehicle. The door openings are narrow, making entry and exit more of an elaborate affair, although the hand grips at each door do help. The spare tire is located under the cargo bed, exposed to the elements. And a few like-to-haves, because I figured while I'm at it, here's a few things I think would really help the vehicle. A decent surround view camera. A head-up display, a front bumper-mounted 6-ton Warren electric winch from the factory. And here's my point. Although the standard tow hooks are nice, 2 in front and 1 in rear, sometimes you need to save yourself when far off-road, and having that winch would be kind of a life-or-death thing. I think I would love to have it. So what's the bottom line here? While a Jeep Gladiator isn't for everybody, it is an excellent tool for those who travel in places where road quality is questionable or merely a suggestion. It has the best of Wrangler, while offering consumers additional versatility and functionality with a cargo bed. If you're looking for a trail-rated vehicle straight from the factory with versatility built in, then the Jeep Gladiator pickup is exactly what you need. The base manufacturer suggested retail price for the 2024 Jeep Gladiator pickup truck ranges from $37,895 for the Sport and up to $56,930 for the Rubicon. Destination charges add $1,895. MSRP is tested. The 2024 Jeep Gladiator Mojave with the following extra cost options: 8-speed automatic transmission, extra cost exterior paint, all-weather floor mats, cargo group with trail rail system, convenience group, technology group, hardtop headliner, soft trifold tonneau cover, black freedom top 3-piece hardtop, trailer brake controller, and spray-in bed liner. Total cost of the options came to $12,575. Total MSRP, including options and destination charges, came to $65,865. I got to tell you, I've spent a lot of time beating up on Jeep, but honestly, the Gladiator, and particularly in the Mojave trim, restores my faith in the brand. And the Rubicon has additional performance capabilities, particularly if you're looking at rock climbing. You know, Rubicon, yeah, this one is one that is suitable to take off-roading in Jeep Mecca, Moab, Utah, which I've been. And trust me, you need all the help you can get when you're rock climbing in Moab. The Rubicon would do it for you. But even the base model, honestly, I mean, yeah, it's high and it's narrow. But again, if this is what you need for where you live, it's the best thing for you. Extreme summer heat means extreme stress in your body. How you can cope is next. This is the Tech Mobility Show. Do you listen to podcasts? Seems that most people do. Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. If you've missed any of our weekly episodes on the radio, our podcast is a great way to listen. You can find the Tech Mobility Podcast just about anywhere you can enjoy podcasts. Be sure to follow us. From Apple Podcasts to iHeartRadio and many platforms in between, we are there. Just enter the Tech Mobility Podcast in the search bar wherever you listen to podcasts. Social media. It's the place to be, and we're no exception. Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. Several times a week, I post to TikTok several of the topics that I cover on my weekly radio show. It's another way to keep up on mobility, technology, news, and information. I've built quite a library of short videos for your viewing pleasure, so be sure to watch, like, and subscribe. That's the Tech Mobility Show on TikTok. Check it out. Heat. Extreme heat, to be exact. With climate change being a real thing, more extreme weather more often also means more extreme temperatures more often. In the case of summer, that could mean hotter temperatures and higher humidity. It's a known fact that the human body doesn't do well with that combination. However, there are ways you can cope. This is topic B. You've heard the saying. We all have. It's not the heat, it's the humidity, at which end we go, yeah, right, whatever. Turns out, that's really right. Let me explain this for you. Not all heat is created equal. For example, in arid climates like the Southwest United States, dry heat actually allows for more perspiration, which helps cool the body. Because there's no water in the air, your body can dissipate water through sweat, cooling your body. In more humid climates like the Southeast, namely Florida, where there's more moisture in the air, it's harder for straight to evaporate because there's already moisture there, so there's no way to dissipate the heat in your body, meaning that a hotter temperature that's very humid would actually be more deadly to you than the same temperature in a dry climate. And having been to Arizona, namely Tucson, in the winter, and having lived in Florida, Tampa, I can tell you from personal experience, there's a difference. Up till now, I didn't really appreciate the value of that old saw where people said, no, it's not the heat, it's the humidity. Actually, it is the type of heat and how much humidity in it. Health public officials are looking at creating a new term to measure that, and they're talking about the term stickiness. What is the level of stickiness in the atmosphere? How ick can it be? If your body in a hot situation is not able to dissipate heat, then your body core goes up and it makes you a candidate for heat-related illnesses up to and including heat stroke. Let me give you an example. If you're in Atlanta with a high of 86 degrees Fahrenheit and today's heat risk is minor, and it's distinguished, let me back up because what I forgot to explain, National Weather Service is rethinking about how it talks about heat. And in collaboration this past April with the Centers for Disease Control Prevention, it launched a new tool called Heat Risk. Users can search a map of the contiguous United States or input their town or address to figure out their level of threat, ranging between 1, little to no risk, or 4, extreme risk. This new system considers 3 factors. First, it tracks how unusual the heat is for this time of year because hot days in, say, May are often harder on your body than when you're acclimated to heat in July. It also accounts for the duration of the heat wave, as longer heat waves tend to create more public health problems, as it incorporates how the CDC evaluates a given day's heat-related hazards. Now, for example, if you're in Atlanta with a high of 86 degrees Fahrenheit and today's heat risk is minor, it is distinguished as a yellow level 1 on heat risk. But let's say that Saturday, a high of 98 degrees means the heat risk is major or bright level 3. That kind of heat could affect anyone without air conditioning or access to a cooling center, and those without adequate hydration, particularly people working in heat-sensitive industries like farm or municipal workers. Heat Risk is a first-of-its-kind program that combines both weather and CDC health guidance. It combines both aspects to provide personal, localized information. And it's important to remember that heat is the number one weather-related killer in the United States, and no one is immune. So how do you deal with heat? Well, the typical stuff: stay cool, stay hydrated, stay alert to the signs of heat illness. All important. But did you know that you can acclimate your body to excessive heat? It's called heat acclimatization. And it's about teaching your body to deal with the stress of heat. And right now, people who try this so often outdoor laborers, athletes, soldiers, and others who have to be outside all the time. Here's how you can benefit. Given, heat taxes the body. You sweat more, your heart beats harder, help both keep you cool, but at very high temperatures, your heart rate can jump too high, your blood pressure can drop, and you can sweat so much you can become dizzy or dehydrated. Pushing the body too hard in extreme heat without preparation can be deadly. Did you know that almost half of all heat-related deaths among workers occur on their first day on the job, and more than 70% occur within the first week? And that is according to the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. However, once the bodies are used to heat, you start to adapt within days. Here's how you do it. To build up your tolerance, you can undertake increasingly longer periods of strenuous activity in hot conditions. You'll perspire sooner and more. You'll retain more salts so you don't sweat out as many electrolytes. Your body's core temperature stays lower. Your plasma, the liquid part of your blood, expands. This allows the heart to beat less to circulate oxygen and allows more blood to be sent towards the skin where it can be cooled. Your body produces more proteins that help protect against heat stress and repair the damage from it. Those changes will let you do more without feeling fatigued in the heat. So, the first few days, you might do something light or moderate activity for half an hour. When you feel ready, 4 or 5 days in, you might start doing more intense activity. The goal is to ramp up about 90 minutes to 2 hours of activity over 2 weeks. That is how long it takes your body to fully adapt. And of course, if you work outside, health officials have more specific recommendations for you. You should be doing short bursts, whatever it is you want to do outside. Weeding your garden, walking, running for longer. You adapt only to what you train for. Light exercise in the heat builds your tolerance only for light exercise. Once you've acclimated, keep doing what you're doing to stay that way. Otherwise, you will lose those abilities within about a month. The best time to start acclimatization is when temperatures are moderate. Do not wait for the heat wave. The reminder on a strain will depend on your health and what you're trying to accomplish. Pay attention to how you're feeling. And again, stay hydrated. Experts recommend drinking a cup of water every 15 to 20 minutes when working in the heat. And stop if you experience any signs of heat-related illness. You don't want to overdo it. This is going to be a hot summer. May in the United States and around the world has already broken a lot of records for high heat. This is going to be with us, folks. So the best thing you can do is don't take heat for granted. And honestly, don't think because you're young that you're not going to be susceptible. As a matter of fact, you are more susceptible. We talked about heat-related illnesses. Let's talk about what they are. Mild heat illnesses include a heat rash, swelling in hands and feet, muscle cramps, and a heat syncope or a fainting episode after standing for too long or getting up suddenly. People with heat exhaustion have more severe symptoms, which could include headache, nausea, vomiting, and dizziness. let me add this from experience. If you work inside and you're working strenuous in this heat, even if you're in the midst of air conditioning, don't ignore staying hydrated, because buildings do warm and buildings are subject to that high heat, and that heat does have a way to permeate the building. Have you ever wondered in high heat, where the air conditioning is going full blast, but I don't feel that cool? That's the effect of the heat on the outside having effects on the inside, and it does impact you. So the key is be aware, make plans, and stay hydrated, because it could very well save your life no matter what you are doing this summer and this fall. From bites to bushels, AI down on the farm and how it could shape the future of agriculture. We are the Tech Mobility Show. To learn more about the Tech Mobility Show, start by visiting our website. Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. The website is a treasure trove of information about me and the show, as well as where to find it on the radio across the country. Keep up with the happenings at the Tech Mobility Show by visiting techmobility.show. That's techmobility.show. You can also drop us a line at talk@techmobility.show. Did you know that Tech Mobility has a YouTube channel? Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. Each week, I upload a few short videos of some of the hot topics that I cover during my weekly radio program. I've designed these videos to be informative and entertaining. It's another way to keep up on current mobility and technology news and information. Be sure to watch, like, and subscribe to my channel. That's the Tech Mobility Show on YouTube. Check it out.
Are you tired of juggling multiple apps and platforms for meetings, webinars, and staying connected? Look no further than aonmeetings.com, the all-in-one browser-based platform that does it all. With AON Meetings, you can effortlessly communicate with clients, host virtual meetings and webinars, and stay in touch with family and friends, all in one place and for one price. Here's the best part. You can enjoy a 30-day free trial. It's time to simplify your life and boost your productivity. aonmeetings.com, where innovation meets connection. Get started today and revolutionize the way you communicate.
Social media is the place to be these days, and we're no exception. I'm Ken Chester of the Tech Mobility Show. If you enjoy my program, then you will also enjoy my weekly Instagram videos. From the latest vehicle reviews to timely commentary on a variety of mobility and technology-related topics, these short features are designed to inform and delight you. Be sure to watch, like, and follow us on Instagram. You can find us by typing the Tech Mobility Show in the search bar. As global demand for nutrition continues to increase, new opportunities are created for farmers. At the same time, agriculture must contend with a push towards sustainable practices. AI offers those in the agricultural space another powerful tool to meet these challenges head on. This is Topic C. I'm reading from a white paper produced by McKinsey & Company, and I want to talk about technology and the farm. A lot of people think that when it comes to technology in general, that rural America is one of the last places that get the benefit. In recent years, that's been turned on its head. As early as 8 years ago, we were talking about autonomous farm tractors. Case IH was showing at the Boone Farm Show back in 2016, 2 autonomous farm tractors, and even had a video of one of them actually plowing a field in real time autonomously in Kentucky. And that was 8 years ago. In the movie Interstellar, a number of years ago, Matt McConaughey was operating autonomous combines. And honestly, today's combine is semi-autonomous, giving the operator a whole bunch of information about the quality of the crop, the amount of moisture, what's going on in front and what's going on in the harvester at the same time as it's processing the corn. Could it be a stretch to where these $500,000 machines would be completely autonomous? Okay, now superimpose on that the use of drones, where they've used drones to actually take pictures of fields to identify conditions. Wet conditions, need for fertilizer conditions, the conditions of the farmer's field in real time is seen from the air in a way that the farmer couldn't get to or spend time if they had drove the fields themselves. Now, superimposed on that is AI. And what does this mean? Well, in the case of farming, and I'm going to just use that as an example within the realm of agriculture, there's a lot of what they call unstructured data. There's a lot of data out there. There's weather data, there's performance data, there's use of fertilizer and what corn types to plant and age and all of this stuff. Tons of data. Wouldn't it be amazing if there was some format that could crunch all this data down into predictive situations that would suggest in real time and in practical ways to the farmer the best way forward to optimize crop, optimize inputs, and minimize the use of personnel, because available people to run the farm have been dropping for years. So the farmer's got to get better with a whole lot less. And this is where AI comes in this case. It could really, really, really help. AI and generative AI can help optimize the use of inputs and manage labor efficiently. For example, and we're talking about what they call on the acre or on the farm. Generative AI-enabled virtual agronomy advisors, which mine data sets such as weather, soil conditions, and pest and disease pressure, can help farmers make better informed decisions to improve yields. Imagine if you could be precise with the application of fertilizer, precise with the application of pesticides, precise with what even type of corn to plant. Are you planting 95-day corn in that field? Are you planting 110-day corn in that field? Do you need a corn that is resistant to a certain pest because of what's coming? And you knew that before you even placed the order to buy the corn 3 to 4 months ago. Based on what AI is able to assess, identify, and give you a tailor-made program in order for you to optimize your planting, optimize your yield, optimize your inputs, minimize your cost. Think about that for a minute. Up to half of the value at stake will be driven by such solutions for better yield management. Additional value will be driven by reducing labor costs via autonomous solutions. Remember I said interstellar, and the fact that, honestly, tractors and combines are semi-autonomous now. And we also know that autonomous, both all your major tractor makers have some sort of autonomous program in the works, if not on the ground. Imagine adding AI to that. To enhance the existing workforce and reduce dependency on labor and operations, as well as by input cost savings via new insights and data handling for precision agriculture to optimize inputs and reduce waste. What a change in 100 years. Back in the 40s and 50s, Roswell Garst implored farmers to plant corn, turn it, plant soybeans, turn it, because you can fertilize and pesticize the heck out of it and, continue to get yields that you would not need that fallow year. Imagine the cost to the ground, the runoff in the streams and everything of all that fertilizer and all that pesticide. Now imagine in an AI autonomous world where you can be precise with it. Imagine how many less tons per acre of that stuff that you will have to apply, how much better the planet, the ground, and your farm would be, not to mention your pocketbook, because of precision application. That is the advantage of AI. That is what could happen. Let me give you another example that this paper gives that I thought was particularly interesting. Imagine that a generative AI can automatically generate personalized marketing content based on customer profiles. And it shows a picture of a cell phone of a particular farmer. Farmer's name, age, where they live, customer behaviors, and a recommendation. And it gives them an example of how a seed company or a fertilizer company or the local co-op can interact with this farmer. Marketing message gives the name. Protect your crops against a recent temperature rise. And it shows corn farms in your area have seen increased gray leaf spot infection based on crunching data. Then it gives them a personalized offer. Get your crops covered at a 30% discount, which means it allows you to buy more intelligently, and it allows the providers of inputs a way to market more effectively. And then any other offers. But based on information, it is able to tailor a marketing message that helps the co-op, helps the seed company, the fertilizer company, or the pesticide company, while helping the farmer buy more intelligently, and even buy less at a lower cost, which makes them healthier because they're spending less money for greater yields. Imagine all the marketing advantages now at the tips of the companies that sell this stuff to reach out to the farmers to know what they need and to be able to adjust their production and their forecast based on actuality, what the farmers want, what's going to do them the most good, and what they're willing to pay for it. Everybody wins in this case, and this is where it's going. Fully autonomous farms using AI for data, optimized crops for the best outcomes, regardless what Mother Nature throws at them. Too wet, too dry, too buggy. And they've got it set. We've come to the end of our program. Be sure to join me right here next time. This has been the Tech Mobility Show.
The Tech Mobility Show is a copywritten production of Tech Mobility Productions, Incorporated. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or any other use is prohibited without the written consent of Tech Mobility Productions, Incorporated.
For those of you that listen to podcasts, we have just the one for you. Hi, I'm Ken Chester. Tech Mobility Topics is a podcast where I upload topic-specific videos each week. Shorter than the full show, these bite-sized programs are just the thing, particularly if you're interested in a particular topic covered on the weekly radio show. From Apple Podcast to iHeartRadio and many podcast platforms in between, we got you covered. Just enter Tech Mobility Topics in the search bar wherever you listen to podcasts. Social media. It's the place to be, we're no exception. Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. Several times a week, I post to TikTok several of the topics that I cover on my weekly radio show. It's another way to keep up on mobility, technology, news, and information. I've built quite a library of short videos for your viewing pleasure, so be sure to watch, like, and subscribe. That's the Tech Mobility Show on TikTok. Check it out. To learn more about the Tech Mobility Show, start by visiting our website. Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. The website is a treasure trove of information about me and the show, as well as where to find it on the radio across the country. Keep up with the happenings at the Tech Mobility Show by visiting techmobility.show. That's techmobility.show. You can also drop us a line at talk@techmobility.show. Do you listen to podcasts? Seems that most people do. Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. If you've missed any of our weekly episodes on the radio, our podcast is a great way to listen. You can find the Tech Mobility Podcast just about anywhere you can enjoy podcasts. Be sure to follow us. From Apple Podcasts to iHeartRadio and many platforms in between, we are there. Just enter the Tech Mobility Podcast in the search bar wherever you listen to podcasts.